to start actually with that game that kicks off tonight. LB, 2 defeats in a week since the last time we spoke. Spurs knocked you out the cup.
Yeah.
Bournemouth dunked on you at the weekend.
Yeah.
Do you think what's going on with City at the minute? Is it just a bad patch, or are the injuries coming home to roost?
I wouldn't read too much into the Spurs game because we all knew he was losing that game anyway, because Pep basically said, like, he ain't taking that game seriously. But the Bournemouth game, that result has been coming for a long time. Anyone that's watched City this season will know that, like, we've been lucky in a lot of matches. If you think back to the Fulham game, we were lucky there. Brentford, we were lucky there. Arsenal, we scored in the last second. Wolves, we scored in the last second. So ultimately, I've been saying that these performances have not been sustainable. They're not sustainable performances. And in the end, it was Bournemouth that got the result. But there was teams in the past that could have got a result. Bournemouth played us off the park for 80 minutes. And on another day, they could have scored 3 or 4 goals, and maybe they should have. Because in the end, we could have snatched a draw with the chances we had towards the end of the game. So they was probably a little bit fortunate that City's finishing wasn't great, but same as us, because we could have been at the end of a proper embarrassing result. Listen, at the end of the day, we are where we are. Our performances have to improve. We keep playing like we have been playing. We'll get more drop points. We'll lose more games. We'll draw games, because in the end, I think performances dictate the long-term results. You might get away with something short-term if you ain't playing good, but long-term, it's not going to happen. You know, you can't keep conning your way through the game. So I'm not too bothered about the injuries, because I'm not using that as an excuse. We had a team out on the pitch that was more than capable of getting a result against Bournemouth, and the fact that we actually got outplayed. I have to take me out off to Bournemouth. They cooked us, man. They absolutely cooked us. So yeah, it is what it is. I ain't looking particularly forward to tonight. I'm not particularly confident about tonight. But listen, sometimes when you're playing badly, being in a different competition can actually be pretty decent, innit? You know what I'm saying? So like, it can take the pressure off. So maybe that's what we need, a bit of a Champions League game. But I ain't particularly confident about tonight's game now.
Why are you so bad defensively at the moment? Like, why are you so bad defensively, Man City? What's happening there, man?
Well, it depends who you speak to. Some people actually think it's not even the defense; it's the midfield, and I hear it. I hear what people are saying, because our midfield, is so slow. Yeah, our midfield 3 is 95 years old combined, bro. Yeah, and they just don't have the legs. So because they don't have the legs, they ain't providing any protection. Like, you got Rice in front of you, yeah? We had Rodri. These guys lock up the midfield. So because we don't have any energy in the midfield, because they're all old, they're all good players, yeah? But as a collective, they're not offering enough protection. So our back 3, because it is basically a back 3, because Gvardiol's all the way up the pitch, because that's where he's asked to play. They're just getting exposed, bro. And I think, listen, our defenders could do a little bit better, but I do think that they're being hung out to dry. On top of that, you've got Kyle Walker in there who hasn't played consistently well now for the last 18 months. Yeah, he's not looking particularly great. I just think it's a combination of things, bro. I really, really do. I said when Rodri got injured, I think our season will depend on what we do in the January transfer window. Yeah, I need us to go and get Zubimendi, man. If we go and get Zubimendi, we've been linked with him today, actually, for the first time. If we go and get him, I think we'll be fine. But this midfield 3, yeah, it's just too slow. It's far too slow. I wanted Pep to play an academy player, man. You know, for a bit of energy in that midfield. But he's still playing Gundogan, Kovacic, and Bernardo, man.
Do you think potentially bringing back Silky Ilky is going to end up being a mistake? Should you have gone and bought someone younger, bit more energy, bit more legs?
I don't think it'll be a mistake. It's what the problem is, we brought this guy in to play like what, 25, 30 games? And then Rodri got an ACL, and all of a sudden he's playing every game of the season. He's 33, 34 years old. Yeah, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So he's not played well since he's come back. I have to just say it as it is. He's not played well, but this wasn't. We didn't buy him for this. Now we should have bought someone proper, like 100%. We should have brought like a proper player. But listen, they obviously didn't see anyone on the market that they felt was right. Which, you know, whatever your opinion is on that. But we're not using him in the way that we was meant to use him. We're not using Kovacic in the way that he's meant to be. When we bought him from Chelsea last year, you know what I mean? Again, it was supposed to be a squad rotation player. Turned out to play nearly every game. Same this year. So we're sort of winging it by playing players that are not meant to be playing game in, game out, but they are playing game in, game out because of lack of transfer business, injuries, or whatever. But listen, at the end of the day, there's no excuses, man. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing good, and that has to improve. And listen, I'm telling you now, if we don't improve our performances, we'll be out of this title race by the end of November. Because I don't know if you've seen our fixtures after the international break, but it is grim, bro. Yeah, we're playing everyone now. We're playing everyone after this international break. We've got Brighton on Saturday. Yeah, away. That's going to be tough. Yeah, we play badly. We could get beat there. And then we've got Spurs, Villa, Liverpool. You've got United, which is obviously a derby match. Anything can happen there. So we need to fix up quickly. We really, really do, especially with Liverpool. Liverpool just seem like they're just getting results. So listen, I've got to back my team. I've got to back my manager to turn this around. But they need to start now. They need to turn this around now because like we're in it now. We're in the thick of it, man. Big time.
What about your attack? And what I mean by that is we don't know how good Haaland is. But so far this season, you'd probably say, barring Man United, when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net, Doku, Savio, Grealish, these guys, are they really up to the standard? Because it can't all be on Haaland to score every week. I mean, they just don't score goals. What they have between them?
I'm trying to explain this to I'm trying to explain this to people though, man. Yeah, we've got bare techie ballers in our team, right? None of them score goals. Like we've gone from a winger options, yeah, of Sane, Sterling, and Mahrez, right? Who all used to get G&A. All used to get goals and assists. And people will say it's not about G&A. G&A is irrelevant. Well, that is, you know, sometimes that's true to it, but at the same time, you do need players to score. And our team is heavily reliant on Haaland to score. And if he doesn't score, who are you backing to score goals in that team? Do you know what I mean? There's not many people in there to score. And this is why I want Nunes to play. Because Nunes, yeah, he's actually someone who actually puts the ball in the back of the net. He's our third joint. He's not third. He's our second joint highest goal contributor this season. I mean, if you look at if you got Haaland number 1 on the G&A, yeah. Number 2 is joint between 4 players. Kovacic, Stones, Gvardiol, and Nunes. Stones is a centre-back, which is injury-prone. He's not played that much this year. Gvardiol's a left-back. Yeah, Nunes has only started playing 2 weeks ago. Yeah, and Kovacic, bro, check his stats out, man, in his career. This guy's never scored more than 5 goals in a season. And he's our second. So we do have a problem. And I think that needs to be rectified in the summer.
Let's talk on Grealish and Doku, man, because I know that they've got injury problems at the moment. Or Man City have actually got injury problems for the whole of their squad at the moment, right? But wasn't it you? Was it someone else told me that Grealish hasn't scored since December 2023?
Yeah, he's not scored since December 2023.
What is going on there? That is absolutely shambolic, man. For £100 million player to not have got scored since 2023, but almost in 2025. Like this is madness.
In this Man City team as well. We're not talking about a rubbish team. It's one of the great. It's probably in the top 3 or 4 English sides in history. And 1 goal since December.
Yeah,
Savio's not scored. Doku doesn't score.
I think Savio. I think I think he's just settling. I think from what I've seen of him so far this year, I think he will add goals to his game. Doku is never going to get over 10 goals, I don't think. And the thing is with Grealish, you know, yeah, it's that record is shambolic. Yeah, I know he's had injuries. He's not played that much since December or whatever, but that is still a poor record. He's never really scored goals. Even if you look at his record at Villa, it was never great. But that's not a problem. But then your other player, i.e. Doku, he needs to be able to score goals. You need to, if you're going to have a player like a Grealish, yeah, you need to have another player that can contribute to the getting goals. And we don't. This is what I'm saying. We have a lot of players in our team that are very good at what they do. Yeah, very, very good at what they do. You have like Grealish, yeah. Listen, it's annoying that he doesn't score, but he does bring stuff to your game. I'm saying this at the Bernabeu. Yeah, I want Grealish on the pitch. Yeah, debate me all you want. I want Grealish on the pitch at the Bernabeu, right? But then you need other players to be able to score. Kovacic don't score. Gundogan don't really score goals. Bernardo Silva don't really score goals. Yeah, Savinho only got 9 at Girona last year. Now, I'm not slagging these players off. Far from it. But I'm saying you've got to have a blend, haven't you? You've got to have a nice mix. Mate, and I don't think we have a nice mix.
You're spot on. Again, we were having this conversation yesterday on the Top 6 show, and people pick and choose when goals and assists matter. And I think for attacking football players, yes, passing the eye test is great. Yes, having technical ability is very important. but in the cold, hard light of day, you would take someone who you would take Mo Salah over Jack Grealish, even though on the eye Jack Grealish looks better because Mo Salah delivers. He puts that ball in the back of the net, and what City are missing right now
wins games, man.
Exactly, and it's what City are missing in their attack, barring Haaland, is there's no moments players. There's not enough players in your team that will have that moment of brilliance to knit the system and the possession and the sort of the dominance you have in most of your games. There's nobody kind of knitting that together with a little moment of brilliance. And I think having Phil Foden having an absolute shocker of a season, and again, he's getting a lot of stick for it. People are going well over the top, talking about how it undermines his entire career, shows he's this, shows he's that. With him having a bad season as well, I think that and the midfield, it's why you guys look a little bit human this year. And he's still brilliant, but you just look a little bit more human now. How do you see